Hello, I'm Doug and this is the Taste and Sensibility channel. And Merry Christmas! And you have arrived at episode number 2 of Christmas wine tastings for 2022. So I've gotten more seriously into wine very recently and just wanted to try a few different grapes from different spots around the world and see how they compare and see if I can tell some differences. So episode 1 was just about tools and practices and how I do some of this stuff, but I've already poured my 3 wines. I pulled them out of the bottle with my Quarisa, so they have, these all had screw caps and now they have a rubber septum cap or a plastic septum cap, so I don't open them anymore until I'm done with the bottle. So what we have here is Argentina and Australia and Spain. And today's wine is a white one called Sauvignon Blanc. So I'm just going to go through the Madeline's method from Wine Folly and record all the stuff as I go along and find out if I can really tell any difference between these 3 wines made from the same grape grown in different parts of the world. So I'm going to grab a sheet of paper so I can look at the color. And they're all fairly pale from where I'm sitting right now. But this hardly has any color. It's almost a platinum, but I would say it's a light straw. It's pale and straw. It's the best descriptor. And on the Australian one, there's a tad more color. It's a little bit more of a yellow. It's a little more intense, and it's also very pale. And then the Spanish one might be very similar to the Australian, but it might be more in between. I'd say they're all pale, and this is the palest. So, and now I'm going to nose, which is probably my weakest part. Oh, actually, I did mean to take the temperature and record the pH I'm getting. So I've got a little handheld device here that's a pH meter and a thermometer. So I'm just going to put it in here. It's already at 58 degrees F. So I missed the window. Good rings and clings, that's for sure. Okay, I got all the pHs and all the temperatures. I just want to try to hit the temperature range that Madeline says is good for drinking this particular wine and grape. Okay, now I'll go in. All that housekeeping out of the way. On this nose, wow, citrus, lime. Maybe hints of lemon also. It's complicated, maybe a little minerally, chalky, limestone. So that smells like a typical white wine to me. Maybe the comparison nose will let me pick up more. Oh, it's different. It's a little, I don't know what to call it. A little more vegetal, a little different kind of fruitiness. Maybe a melon. The citrus is way suppressed compared to the Argentine. Not sure I would call it a lime or even a citrus. So maybe melon is a better, like a honeydew. And a little more complexity behind it. It's hints of faint clove or allspice or baking spices, but they go in and out. That's not a safe thing to say. And nose number 3 on a 2020 Sauvignon Blanc from Rueda, Spain. Oh, that's a little different too. I can tell the differences. I'm not sure I can describe the differences. A little sharper, I want to say cactus. I don't know why. I'm not familiar with cactuses on the inside, or smells, or flavors. That's weird. There's a tartness, a sharpness, something like citrus, something like a lime, something like lemon, but it's not. I'm not really getting the specifics of a lime. Yeah, the tartness is there. And there are light, fluffy, vegetal things. Everything's pale, white, yellow, faint green. All the things that are recalled are light in character. So, not much nosing going on there, or not much describing what the nose has, so let's go into taste. Argentina, Mendoza Station. Sauvignon Blanc, 2021. Wow, so that is dry. No tannins, a little bit of acidity. And fruity without being able to say what the fruit is. The lime note I got on the nose is much reduced, but it's still, yeah, I'd still say lime is the best descriptor of what it is. So it's fresh, bright, fruity. Is white grapes a good descriptor? Yeah, there's a bit of acidity. Just a medium level, medium to medium minus. Next to no tannins, very light in body. So it's good, it's bracing. It would go with, very dry. There's not any sweetness to speak of that I can tell. It'd go well with all the usual lighter foods, fish and chicken and maybe pork. Depending on how it's cooked. So the flavors are light, fruity, fresh, and refreshing. Okay, a little mouth cleanse. Oh, it's a tad sweeter, a tad fruitier, maybe. It's a little more lime forward. Didn't get so much on the nose, but it's there on this palate. It's like the lime oil, the peel. I'd say there's less acidity than Argentina. So this is Sauvignon Blanc 2021 from Quarisa, Slopes Road, Tharbogang, New South Wales. So I don't know anything about Australian geography. So it again is fresh, refreshing, a tad sweeter, a tad fruitier, less acidity. And I am not good at guessing alcohol ABV on wines. I can do it well with whiskey. But this particular one says 12.5. This one says 13.5. I can sort of pick that up knowing what they are. This one's a little fresher, a little less biting acidity-wise, a little less biting alcohol-wise. Very good. Oh, wow. Some fruit note that I can't really place, or no name comes to mind. But I'm liking that one. That's good. So, yes, very slightly different. This one, sweeter, less acidic, more fruity, more fruit forward. This one's just dry. And more mouth cleanse. And now to the Spanish one, which comes from Rueda. Nose is giving me something interesting. Baking spices, more interest to the nose, but it's not quite a lime. It's beyond fruit. Interesting stuff going on, but I can't say I can really describe it. Palate? Wow, less acidity than this guy, maybe about the same as this. It is fruity. It's a tad sweeter than this one, maybe close to that. And some of the spiciness or complexity or I don't know what. I don't think any of these have seen oak, but there's a tad more complexity to it. That's just hard to describe. There's a couple more flavors, couple more aromas that I can't quite place. Good. Good. Fruity. These are both a little more fruit forward, slightly sweeter than this thing over here, and less acidity. Both. So these two are very similar. I'm still learning about the Spanish system and their geography, but this is really good. So yes, I can detect differences, but can I describe them? Not very well. And these are very similar. The noses struck me as really similar, but the palates, I was able to make more distinctions with, even if I couldn't describe it very well. So this is a wonderful test. Next time we'll jump into a red. So my verse today is from Proverbs. Then your barns will be filled with plenty and your vats will be bursting with wine. So I'm going to enjoy the last of these pours and see if I can figure out any more about it or how to say it. And until next time, Merry Christmas.